Welcome to the Pause Rewind Play podcast. Thanks so much for tuning in with us on another great week. As you can tell from the title of this one, this is Josh's favorite.
Is it your favorite?
No,
the list. Sorry.
I do love one's your favorite.
Yes, the top 10 is my favorite. But
Goodness gracious. I think yeah. Welcome back to the Pause Rewind Play podcast. We're here. We're talking Oscars this week, as you can tell from the title of the episode.
Josh's favorite episode. Oh.
Josh's favorite episode.
Not again.
He watched all the Shrek films, though, to start it out.
Just no one said anything.
We're just going to get
a big ignore.
I actually have a friend. I can't remember who it was. Somebody said, it was Tyler. Shout out Tyler. He sent me a link to a rave taking place somewhere in Utah Valley that is 100% Shrek themed.
I saw that.
I was like, I'm not sharing this with Casey.
But here we are.
This is the greatest thing I've heard of all week. No one has watched a Shrek film in the recent history. However, we're here to talk Oscars. This year, just so you guys know, we're doing the same as we did last year. We're creating a community ballot. Each of us have our own recommendations already or guesses, right? But we're gonna make a team ballot. Go Team PRP.
We're gonna argue it out on who should be where and who we think would win and all that junk.
What if it gets heated?
Yeah. It probably will for some things, because I think I have some takes that I feel kind of strongly about. And I'll do my best to separate the wants from the what I think will actually happen.
Okay.
Right? Because I have a few wants that are strong wants. And I don't know. So we'll get into it.
Do you
want to do a quick?
I do want to do a quick recap, though, what we've been watching. And I want to start out with Josh.
Yeah, good idea.
I did that on purpose.
I'm already no, over there, please, because I didn't prep for this part. I have to think of what I've been watching.
Well, it's pretty easy for me because I haven't actually been watching that much. I've been playing a little more video games recently, not a lot, but if any of you guys play Call of Duty, the Modern Warfare 2 game just released a few weeks ago. They have a ranked system for multiplayer. So you play and there's these different game modes and it's a lot more competitive. And you can go up and down the ranks. And me and my buddy Ryan from work, we've been playing a lot of that. So
working up the ranks.
I'm in gold, so don't be impressed. But so I've been doing a lot of that. But so I haven't been watching too much and I've kind of been in between shows trying to figure out what to watch. Tried to watch a couple things to get ready for this as well, but mostly I've just been on the rewatch of Better Call Saul.
Oh, nice. Starting from scratch, huh?
Starting from scratch. I'm kind of, because I haven't, because each night I'm should I start this that I want to start or do this or blah, blah, blah. And yeah, I want to watch The Last of Us, but it's only once a week. And then it'll be Ted Lasso I want to watch, but it's also only once a week. And so
I'm so happy we're back to once a week. I am. I didn't think I was at first. Like I was all about the binge mode, but I am having so much fun with this Last of Us every week to week thing. We've had people over every single week except for this last one because everyone was out of town. I've had people at my house. We haven't done that in years, watch parties. It's so nice to be able to do that again.
It's actually fun.
Also love it. Yeah, I just want to say, you can come over to my house and watch anytime. We live 740 steps away from each other.
Really?
You count?
No, it's actually more like 3,000 or something. I don't know.
I thought you really know.
No, my pedometer
it's still pretty
knows.
Close, but
yeah.
But yeah, so I do I'm pretty sure we even have a reel up on YouTube and stuff, how I'm talking about how I don't really love the week to week and I almost didn't like it, but Last of Us, it was okay. Yeah, I'm actually kind of into it. And there's still part of me that doesn't like it, and there's still part of me that so obviously you guys know I love Stranger Things, and if Stranger Things season 5 comes out and they're it's going to be week to week, I'll be no,
that's the one you want.
This is a binge show. I love binging Stranger Things. I had to wait when season 4 came out because I was in Texas with a friend, and when I came back, I was yes, it's time, and I watched them. I tried to space it out because I loved it so much, but that shit was gone.
Yeah, in and out. Well, that's the problem though. It's it's in and out so fast. It's out of the conversation next week. And how long we've been talking about the week of the Last of Us, the week of us, The Last of Us, 7 weeks now, no, almost 9 weeks.
Yeah,
so much
every
fun.
week, and it's so fun and it's so good. And obviously, I'm not going to talk about that because we'll talk about The Last of Us, but just it's still amazing. And they're finally making it to Salt Lake City.
Yes, they're doing it.
Utah.
But so mostly just Better Call Saul. And this is I think this
Oh, that's what I was going to ask you real quick. Are you going to watch all Better Call Saul and then Breaking Bad?
Yes.
Back? Okay.
That's the plan for
So
my
wait.
rewatch.
Really quick for this, for my own benefit, Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. Better Call Saul is technically a prequel to Breaking Bad, correct?
For the most part, yeah.
Okay.
They bring in small chunks, and obviously as you get more towards the end, larger chunks of post Breaking Bad stuff, so you can kind of see the fallout. But yes, the main story and the characters and everything are all pre Breaking Bad, and a lot of them tie into Breaking Bad in so many ways, which is super fun.
Perfect. That's all I wanted to know.
So I watched it like through once when I think like I think the 4th or 5th season was on TV. That was the first time I watched it, and I watched it all the way through. And then when the last season came out, I rewatched everything before it came out, and I watched it. So this will be like my 3rd time going through it, and it's just so good, man. It's so, the characters, all of their stories, and like the things that but you see from this, and like knowing things that they do in the future that are caused by the events you're watching now, like it's so good. Oh my gosh.
That's so cool.
I love it. And I'm like, I'll never pick one because like people debate and they go crazy about it. But like Better Call Saul is like right there for Breaking Bad with me. Like some people, like a lot of like critics will be like, oh, it's better. And then a lot of regular people will be like, nothing passes Breaking Bad. And I'm just like, don't make me pick between my children, please. They're just amazing. So that's me. I've been on the rewatch of Better Call Saul along with that. And you already know if you listen to our episode last week, I'm just ready for Ted Lasso. I'm so excited.
Yes.
Next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
March 15th.
Coming up.
Well, I do want to say that I finally got my wife to watch Ted Lasso.
Yes.
And it's a success. She loves it.
I knew she would.
Everybody does.
So,
if she didn't love it, I would be like, I might not have a sister anymore.
Whoa, that's
just kidding.
deep. That cuts deep. No, Ted Lasso. Oh my gosh, I forgot how much I enjoy that show. So I didn't finish season 2 on purpose because I wanted to go back and watch it with Ali. So I watched the first 2 episodes and I was like, hey, this is what needs to happen. And we watched it finally, and it was great. And I would recommend it. We're going back rewatching all the Marvel films as well, just really quickly, just in order of when they came out. So we just finished Iron Man, and we went to Thor, then Captain America. We missed something. I can't remember. I'm missing something in there.
Iron Man 2?
Yeah, Iron Man 2, the one with the guy with those are actually
Whiplash.
That's really cool tech. Actually, like when you think about it, you're like, wow, that's rad. Yeah. So yeah, a lot of fun lately.
I want my bird.
Literally the greatest,
we can get him the bird.
repeatable line. So it's just what it is.
Awesome.
What have you been watching, Vince? What have you been watching?
So much Star Wars, guys.
How much Star Wars?
Start the new Mandalorian season.
We're 2 weeks into Mando, right? Bad Batch has been going on for a while now, and it's a great season. The last 3 or 4 episodes have been so good. Like there's a 2-episode arc about the rise of the stormtroopers. The stormtroopers replacing the clone troopers. This is all in animation, right? It takes place in the Senate, so there's politics going on. There's a plot to assassinate a senator, so that's going on. And then basically it's just the way that the Senate gets manipulated into retiring all the clones so that the Emperor can bring in regular people into his army, basically, and brainwash these people. It's really, really good episode arc.
So what happened to all the clones?
They're into forced retirement, and one of the senators is just well, what are you going to do? These people are people, and everyone's like, no, those people are tools. They're nothing. So it's this really big racism arc too going on. Are clones real people? Because they all have personalities, but do they have souls? Because they were grown. So some people view them as lesser, like I said, tools, and that's this whole season is kind of about that of just what do you do with these clones that you grew literally to fight when there's no war for them to fight anymore? And so one of these senators is fighting for clone rights and a retirement plan for them. And a lot of the clones are just going through this self doubt of just what do I do? I was born to fight, I've been alive for this many years and I don't know anything else. So what am I supposed to do other than this? It's really, really good, guys. For a kid's cartoon, it gets pretty deep. And then like the last couple episodes have just been like character explorations of the characters a little bit more, and they've just been great. Not this week's, but last week's episode was a straight up horror, like Alien homage. It was great.
See,
it was so good.
Shows that do that, that'll just like have episodes that are mixed in with different genres.
Mm-hmm. And this one like really just felt like Alien. Like they go and investigate a crashed ship, and there's just like everything's destroyed, everyone's dead on the inside. There's an alien like crawling around trying to kill him. Like it's a straight up Alien homage. It's great. Cool. It's like you watch this, I'm just like, give me this in live action. It would be so good. It's in the Star Wars universe. So that's been great. Mando, also really good. I did not really like the first episode, and I was
heard that from a lot of people.
Really bummed after that first week. I was just like, oh no, maybe I'm gonna check out a Mando here, because I'm pretty like Boba Fett was bad. The best episodes were the Mando episodes and Boba Fett. Episode 2 was fantastic. It was so good. So I am back in on the Star Wars train. Give me all of that Star Wars. And on that note,
oh my gosh, he prepared something. I thought you were gonna like
Happy Baby Day!
For real?
Yes! Happy having a baby. Yes! I don't know how you say that.
Dude, thank you.
You're welcome. I'm hoping that makes the nights a little better.
Oh my gosh.
That is so sick.
It's amazing. I'm so excited.
I can't tell you how many times that sat on my desk. I was just like,
I could just build it once before I give it to him.
Yeah. Don't open it.
So there's a secret way to open these that you can easily reseal them. So if you're ever gifting these, just take a hot knife off the back up here.
But are they in little baggies on the inside?
Yeah, no one's gonna know. Actually,
you pour it out.
The way they do now is they design it so there's bag 1, bag 2, bag 3. Like when
cool.
you and I were kids, they just came in like this.
Oh yeah,
like,
you just like pour it out.
You pour it out. So now they're like, build it through this phase, then build it through that phase. Thank you, man.
Make it easier and easier.
I appreciate this so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. And then once the baby gets old enough, you can do it again with him.
Yeah.
Do it while you're stuck at home, and then do it again once he knows how to not eat the Legos or stick it up his nose.
So game. I actually so funny thing, guys. Thank you, Vince. I'm gonna put this down here out of the way. I've been looking into how to actually build so they have these like flat print type things that you can make that are designs. It's kind of like your sister does these, like where they stick to make art type thing. Lego has a version of this where you stick a bunch of stuff on it, but Lego has this version where you can make logos or designs and stuff like that. And I'm in the creator studio trying to figure out how to make it so I could put the PRP logo.
Oh, that's cool.
And I think that would be a lot of fun. So I'm hoping
like that a lot.
that
That's
I can
very
do
cool.
that, and then I'll build it and bring it
That
back.
reminds me, I forgot to bring down the sub count.
We got more subs though.
Yeah,
actually,
I get 412, I think.
yeah, we're up. Thank you, one and all, to everyone for.
I'm gonna need 8 people to subscribe before our next episode.
Yeah. 8 subscribers. We need 8 subscribers. No, we got 412. Yeah, so things are going great. Just thank you for everyone who's subscribing, watching, and going through things. Really quickly, I'm going to take a step back. You're talking about do clones have a purpose, a reason, an existence, and a soul, right? Essentially, that kind of stuff. Foundation, a series by Apple TV Plus, deals so much with that, actually. So I've been training to do a big cycling event later in the year. And I watched Foundation because those are like an hour long, right? Episodes. But there's like a huge section of this first season where they're dealing with like what actually is a purpose, a soul, and all of this of,
Because isn't one character like the same guy just at a different age or something?
So there are 3 of them. So there's
Like a young,
the morning,
middle-aged.
the day, and like the evening type thing. I can't remember.
I got a few
exactly.
episodes into it.
Yeah, so they're actually like super interesting, super fantastic, but they're kind of talking about like, does a soul exist and how does it work and stuff like that. And so very fascinating. Just wanted to call that out. Like if you haven't watched Foundation on Apple TV Plus, watch it. Apple TV Plus, sponsor us. But anyhow, it's just a really quality series. And I've actually wanted to watch The Bad Batch, and I think you kind of gave me some incentive to.
It's like Clone Wars. There's filler episodes that are definitely for kids, but they're still fun. And the art style in the show just keeps getting better and better and better.
Yeah.
Like this last episode. Sorry, you got me talking about it again.
Oh, you're
this
good.
last episode takes place on an ice planet, and it's some of the most beautiful animation of like snow and blizzards and mountain ranges that I've seen in a long time. Like their art style is just it's getting so good for those cartoons. Like
I love like when you can just those amazing shots of stuff like that. I love it. I love animated ones. I love live action ones, which we probably need to to end our what we've been watching, and I'm not going to talk too much about it because we'll do an episode on it. But like, there's always at least one shot now in every single Last of Us episode where I'm just like, oh my gosh, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, for
like
real.
this most recent one, it was just like through like the trees and stuff.
Yeah, I
Just
know
that
exactly
shot
the shot you're
happened.
talking about.
And the one before was when they're like on the horse going out. There's just like a shot every single time where you're just like,
Got major like Revenant vibes in that shot.
oh yeah,
Revenant vibes.
oh yeah, the Revenant, yes. But yeah, no, definitely. So much.
We love the Revenant. No,
Okay.
should we get into the meat of this? Because this is a big episode, naturally.
We should probably get into the spices of it first.
Why is it so spicy?
Or do you?
I love that clip.
I always say that as well.
Why is it spicy?
Why is it spicy?
Okay, sorry. We should get into the spicy first. And by that I meant you said the meat and potatoes. I think maybe, and if you guys want to do this differently, that's fine. Maybe we go through like the outer categories first.
That
the
sounds
ones
good.
that
Are we
When's that
talking?
marker?
I either don't know really hardly anything about or just have like, I don't know, the vaguest ideas.
Of
So,
course. Of course.
I forgot to mark the couple here.
So
Vince has got to mark a few, but
But no, we can start. Go ahead. Where
Josh,
do you wanna
which
start?
is the
Well, I don't know, so,
outlier you want to start? I got this
here,
right here.
yeah. If do you want to put this here so I can, because I have them all, but they're probably in different orders and stuff. So
just being picky.
yeah, let's do. Those are all kind of pretty good. Let's start with. Sorry, I just want to make sure that we can like track it and stuff. Let's do. For this, let's do the bottom two rows. How about that? So we'll
Bottom
start
two.
on. Not that this is like an outlier,
short.
but let's do.
Oh, top one.
Oh no, yeah. Let's do this one first. Actually, let's do the bottom row and then go from there. So we're gonna start with best animated short, live action short, sound, and visual effects.
Deal.
Cool. So I had a few of these on my list, animated short, and so let's just do animated short. I had a few of these on my list to watch, and I only ended up watching The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse.
I saw
the only
two.
one I
I
watched.
saw that one, and I also watched My Year of Dicks.
It's the name,
'Cause how
okay?
can
Don't look
you
at
not-
us.
You,
No,
you
exactly.
see that one, you're like, I need to know what that is.
Yeah, actually, I did see something about this. This is on.
It's on Hulu.
Yes. Okay.
And if you want to watch The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse, it's on Apple TV Plus. Right?
Yep.
It's excellent. I did watch that.
I would probably. I have it on mine. I gave it to The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. But I did like My Year of Dicks better. My Year of Dicks it's pretty good. I didn't love the animation on it, but I thought the story was more like. It was more compelling, more entertaining. It's about a teenage girl trying to lose her virginity and all the guys that she like. So she is going for dick.
Yeah.
But she's also like meeting dicks, like
Right.
the guys are dicks.
Good
So it's kind
dudes.
of like a double entendre or whatever you
Yes.
call it. It was really good. It was entertaining. It's only like a half hour long. I liked it a lot. Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse is beautiful though.
Yes.
Like the animation in it is so pretty. But man, do they speak in cliches, and it just kind of is a little slow. Apparently, it's based on a kid's story. So they just animated a kid's story. So after I saw that, I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
That makes sense, yeah.
But I would vote Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse because I don't know any of the other ones. And
Yeah.
Let's vote it.
And this was one of the ones, so I don't know, you can call it this if you want. Like I kind of cheated. I looked up like betting lines for like a lot of these to like kind of see like what might be in the lead. And there's a ton of close races. So like even if I saw one that like is in the lead, there's a lot.
There's
that
no
just
way
are
to
by
know,
Yeah, exactly. So, and these are some of the ones, some of the only ones that I didn't see and didn't look up. So I say we do it. Did you mark it already?
that one?
For your, what do you call it? Information, recommendation, awareness. We've chosen for best short animated, The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse.
And obviously these are all nominated for Oscars, so I feel bad leaving them out. The other ones that we didn't mention are The Flying Sailor, Ice Merchants, and An Ostrich Told Me the World is Fake, and I something. I don't know.
And
I think I believe it.
I want
Got it.
to read that one. Oh, here I got
That
it.
one does
I got
also
extra
sound
paper you
interesting
can
as
use.
well. Oh, you got an extra one. Nice.
Yeah, this is
That'll help because I
this
have
is
mine
my
marked on here, but then
personal
we can.
like checklist is what that one is.
I
All the
see.
movies I've seen.
Very nice.
Should we do best short live action?
Yes, I've seen none of them.
I watched
All
Le
right.
Pupille. Le Pupille. Translation: The Pupil. I watched that one right before you guys got here while
And
I was eating.
Was it
It
good?
was really good. It's about an orphanage in Italy. I don't remember the exact time period, back in the day during the wars and stuff. I think like during World War II or something. I'm going to look like a real idiot if I got that wrong. And the very fact that I don't know which war it was. Anyway, it's about this Catholic orphanage and these little girls in there. The whole story is based on a letter. And they just like turned the story like a real letter. Yeah, so they turned the story of what happened into this short live action film. And at the end, even at the end of the story, there's like, so what? They start to sing, all the little orphans, and the song's like, so what's the moral of the story? We don't know, kind of a thing. So it's just kind of an entertaining 30 minutes of like these orphanages or orphans in this Catholic church, and I recommend it. I liked it. It's the only one I saw, so I marked it as that one.
I say, unless you've seen one, Casey, do we vote for it then?
I feel like I actually started watching Les Pupilles.
Les Pupilles. Is that how you say it? I don't even know.
I don't speak Italian.
I love that language. If I were to learn another, it'd be that. The other movies, you want to read those off?
Yeah, the other movies are An Irish Goodbye, Luvalu, Night Ride, The Red Suitcase, and Les Pupilles. So we chose Les Pupilles for Best Short Live Action.
Excellent.
Cool.
Well, just so we don't forget it, I'll start the next one. So we have Best Sound next, and the nominees are All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar: The Way of Water, The Batman, Elvis, and Top Gun: Maverick.
So I've seen all of these but one, and I have thoughts.
So we got to think about sound, right? And the way that they design it and the way that they make it sound good and do all this stuff like that. There's one. So a lot of these obviously are good for that.
Shh, Bernie, no.
Oh.
Sounds like Paige, you just got home.
There's like a lot of these that obviously these are the 5 nominees and all that do it a lot. But when you come to think of it, and from what I've seen, what a lot of people tend to say is that we can. Sorry.
We're good.
You're good. You're totally. We all have dogs. It's all fine.
But our dogs.
Okay, go.
What are dogs? From what I've seen, a lot of people talking about and everything, like there's a lot of good things, but this is one where it's basically like they made Top Gun Maverick to be like this incredible movie and all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. This movie is made to win a sound Oscar, right? Like and I still haven't seen it, but just knowing the jets and this and those like beach scenes, and it's made to like get that kind of nomination.
Win those nominations.
So that's my vote and my thoughts on it. You can, like I said, I'm up for debate, but we probably gotta.
I'm just gonna
go
describe,
a little fast.
I'm just gonna describe one scene.
Oh no!
In the Batman, when that Batmobile shows up, and he walks out into the street, and you just hear that. That does.
Oh yes,
like
That's
that.
a great scene.
Okay, and I'm thinking a little more about like just the whole intro sequence to the Batman, and a lot of that does have to do with the score and the music, but just like how it's like the movie feels so ominous, right? The sound really does match the tone of the movie they set with the cinematography and everything else.
So that's what I have on mine. I did the Batman. I'm a little biased towards the Batman because this is my like a comic book movie, and I want comic book movies just to win everything. But
I went for Top Gun Maverick.
Okay, give it to Top Gun. It probably will be. Like honestly, like you said, it's made for that. You know, it's a freaking jet movie.
So we went Top Gun Maverick.
It really got our jets going.
Do you want to read off the visual effects ones, Vince?
Best visual effects: All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar: The Way of Water, The Batman, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, and Top Gun Maverick.
All right, Avatar: The Way of Water.
Avatar: The Way of Water. Yep.
Easy
enough.
Like we've talked about in our entire episode about Avatar: The Way of Water, it's the movie that comes along and it shows you, wow, look how far we've come. Look at all of the things that are currently capable in the world of visual animation effects and visual effects into a live action film.
It's the Dune of last year.
It's the Dune of the water. Instead of on a dry planet, you're in a wet,
it's kind of the opposite.
Wet underwater paradise. All right, let's do best production design.
Best production design, we have All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar: The Way of Water, Babylon, Elvis, and The Fabelmans.
Vince, what are your thoughts?
All these movies are fantastic. All of them, like I think of Babylon and I think of like how well that really does put you in that time period.
Watched Babylon.
So it's really, really hard for me to decide between Babylon and All Quiet on the Western Front, because All Quiet on the Western Front also did an amazing job of putting you in the freaking foxholes, of that war. So I put All Quiet on the Western Front. I'm leaning toward Babylon as well.
I put Babylon if that like helps like us decide, but All Quiet on the Western Front is definitely my second. I know that a lot of people talk about Elvis, and I haven't seen it, and I still just have no desire to see it, so I can't really speak to it a lot, but I know that a lot of people have talked about how that is like also one of the ones that's like kind of up there as a little more. And then Avatar: The Way of Water, like I understand why it's there, but I don't think like production design. Yes, obviously it's one of the 5 movies that got nominated for this, and there's so much that goes into making like obviously there was a lot that ended up being CGI'd in and whatnot, but still what they did make it had to be incredible and put so much time and effort. And so
for some reason for me though, I just visual effects does not mean the same thing as production design for me. Like I don't know why there's this disconnect. Exactly. I want real tangible,
Well, and that's like what I believe it's supposed to be, right? Okay. Like the production design is. So that's something just like kind of what I was saying, right? Is like they had to build X amount, but then the rest of it's like CGI. And so that's where I think that All Quiet on the Western Front. Well, here's the thing: All Quiet on the Western Front was also nominated for Best Visual Effects because they did these ginormous like war scenes and all this stuff, and like from YouTube videos I've watched and whatnot, they have like there's these ginormous battle scenes or these ginormous scenes where they're talking to the soldiers and whatnot, and like the real shot, there's like 10 people there. Oh, and there's like, even though in the shot there's like so many and it's crazy and stuff, but I'd lean towards Babylon. But
Casey, you're the deciding factor.
Babylon.
Yeah, I'd want Babylon too.
All right.
That's good to know. After this conversation, my day of Oscars list might change up a little bit.
Do you want to read off Best Original Song, Vince?
Best Original Song, guys. Applause from Tell It Like a Woman. Hold My Hand from Top Gun Maverick. Lift Me Up from Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Natu Natu from RRR. And This Is a Life from Everything Everywhere All at Once.
All right. This is my first one where I kind of split, right? My personal one that's on my playlists. This Is a Life from Everything Everywhere All at Once. The one that's going to win though, not to. Dude,
it's so good.
It is
that whole sequence with that song is so good.
And I haven't even seen the movie, and I have that song saved in my Spotify.
You guys need to watch I watched like 10 minutes of it on YouTube, just so you know, and I was like, wow.
It's to watch. You would like it.
Is it like 3 hours long?
It's like 3 hours long. I watched it while I rode my Peloton, but man, did I love it.
You rode your Peloton for 3 hours straight?
No, like I'd watch it in chunks.
Oh, I was like,
no, that's a long time to be on a bike.
You were really into that movie. Yeah, I watched part of it on just a quick clip on
You would love it, honestly.
YouTube.
You would love it.
Okay, I'm going to watch it. That's my commitment to all of you.
Story about friendship. It's pretty much a superhero movie. It's
like a huge
So anyway, we can move on.
I'm here for it. Best Original Score, All Quiet on the Western Front by Volker Bertelmann, Babylon by Justin Hurwitz, The Banshees of Inisherin. Inisherin, thank you.
Sorry, I've learned how to say it.
Inisherin by Carter Burwell, Everywhere, Everything, All at Once, Sun Lux, and The Fablemans by John Williams.
So this is an easy one for me too, Babylon. Babylon's, that song is the one they use for the trailer, is just like embedded in my brain. Yes. I haven't heard that song in weeks and weeks, but it is still in here. I can't remember any of the other soundtracks or scores. Sorry.
So I love Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's my personal pick, but I agree that Babylon, I think, is the winner. Like from what I've heard, there's like a few that are definitely up there, but I think that Babylon's the front runner, if I remember the odds and everything correctly. And I did enjoy it as well. Like it's like, I love Everything Everywhere, my number one movie. I have songs from it all over my Spotify and whatnot, but
that
it's moving.
First 30-minute sequence, that music through that.
Yes.
Just the brass and everything. It's just like, it's a party. Orgy.
and I voted for the Banshees of Inisherin, but I'm going to go with you guys on Babylon.
I did love the Banshees. Like, obviously there's a reason Banshees of Inisherin is here. So moving, it fits the mood of the movie, everything that goes on with it.
Yeah.
Incredible. Best makeup and hairstyling. We have All Quiet on the Western Front, The Batman, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, Elvis, The Whale. Comes down to 2 for me. What do you guys think?
You know what I'm voting. I've already voiced my opinion. In past
The
episodes.
Batman.
That penguin, Colin Farrell is.
He did not
Unrecognizable.
look like Colin Farrell at all. And that's what's crazy is we've seen 2 movies last year from Colin Farrell where he looks 110% different.
What's the other one?
The Banshees of Inisherin.
I still recognized him though. Compared to Penguin,
No,
I
I'm meaning like as in like he was
Just
like,
like as
unrecognizable in one, and we're like, oh, that's who Colin Farrell is.
Oh,
I'm just meaning like
gotcha.
he was 180
I
degrees
just missed
different.
it.
So you're all good. I might not have explained it very well, but
So I vote Batman. Again, a little biased, but nobody that knew that was Colin Farrell that I talked to about the movie, like every time I brought up that was Colin Farrell, they're like, "Wait, when was he in that?"
The Batman was definitely my second one. My number one and the one that I think will win, but obviously we don't know. The Whale.
It is very good.
Yeah.
Like for half a second, I was like, "Did Brendan Fraser really get that fat?"
Like for a role? You're like, wait a second.
yeah. He does commit to roles.
Well, and think about it. So you think makeup and hairstyling, and that doesn't, like, it includes the costumes and everything that kind of, or sorry, not costumes, just making all of that look like that. But okay, sorry, never mind. I actually am thinking of costumes, and that's a separate category, right?
Yeah. So makeup and hairstyling. What
It
are we
should
going
be-
with?
Yeah, so it should be somewhere else. Sorry, I was just thinking about while we're on the topic because I don't think it's in there. It's not, so I'll just mention it really quick. So this isn't technically as a part of that, but just how they made him look and everything was truly insane and incredible. But like I watched some YouTube videos about everything that went into that, and that was like a real whole like suit thing that they had to make him, and so there's like coolers in there and all of this
really?
stuff. Yeah, because it was
Yeah, that'd be hot.
yeah. So there's like all of this like stuff
And
that had to go into it.
It is like, did you guys see it?
I watched like a YouTube reaction to it.
Okay.
Someone watching it because I wanted to like see it kind of and know what it was about without like I wasn't as committed that I rented it or anything.
But
So I kind of watched
It's
it.
believable. There's scenes like without his shirt on and stuff that it's just like this looks like a real body, and like the way that they just did it to his face and everything, even down to his like little tiny hairs on top. Like it is really really good.
I'm fine with. So I obviously think the Whale will win, but Batman is also right there for me. So either one, I'm like, this isn't one that I want to fight on, right? Like I'm like, I'll accept the Batman if you do it. Casey.
So I actually was gonna go with Black Panther: Wakanda Forever on this one.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I
also
actually
fair.
really liked the costuming on it. I felt like it was really cool because, like, within the world of the Black Panther, especially within Wakanda, right? There's so many textures and layers of folks and people there, and they do such a good job with it. However, I would go with Batman, to be honest with you.
Let's do it.
I do have to call out. I just forgot her name.
Angela Bassett.
Angela Bassett's always got some freaking awesome hair. And
Angela
costuming
Bassett.
Do you
10
guys
out of
just
10.
want to do costume design really quick? Since
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
kind of on
let's
the
do it,
subject.
man.
So costume design, we have Babylon, Mary Zofres, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, Ruth Carter, Elvis, Catherine Martin, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Shirley Kurata, and Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris, Jenny Bevan.
So for costume design, I kind of want to argue for Everything Everywhere All at Once on this one. And it's not to appease you, but when I finally saw this, I was like,
Stephanie Sue's.
yeah, that's
Stephanie
so
Sue.
good.
Yes. And so here's the thing. I obviously love Everything Everywhere All at Once, and this might be one of the only ones where I go against it. Not because
I think
it could
Did
win.
you see the dad's freaking robot wheelchair old PC like mech suit? Come on.
all right.
I'm just kidding. That's not what I have on.
Everything
my list.
Everywhere. Okay, well, do you have, let's see. I think, so Everything Everywhere. Okay, actually, just kidding. This is really tough. Everything Everywhere. There's
It is.
Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, and you have Babylon.
Yeah.
That's what I put on was Babylon. But
I think I put Black Panther.
You two rock, paper, scissors.
no, I do Black Panther. I'd be fine with Black Panther on it.
Yeah.
Because that's what you said, right, Casey?
Yeah.
That's
And
2-1 anyway. So.
you know, spoilers, but I'd have a few more Everything Everywheres later on the list. So
What?
Let them have it.
it won't be.
Black Panther really was. I mean, they like you said, they had both cultures. They had the Wakanda costuming, and they had the Talakan. Is that how you say it? I can't remember the name of them.
Like the Mayan
Oh,
style.
yeah,
that
the
was
Mayan
good.
stuff.
Yeah,
like
that-
they had some
Oh.
awesome stuff.
Yeah, we haven't even started talking about that. That underwater, like the way they build all those costumes, like I can't imagine. So, yeah, good call.
Black Panther then?
Yeah, Black Panther.
Okay. I'm cool with that.
BP.
All right.
What did you give to best hair and makeup then?
We did
we
the
did
Batman.
the Batman.
Okay.
Vince is so happy. All right.
Best international feature film. Sorry.
No, it's a tangent. We don't need to go off on it.
Best international feature film. All Quiet on the Western Front. Germany. Argentina. 1985. Argentina. Close. Belgium. EO. Poland. The Quiet Girl. Ireland.
It's an easy one, right?
So it's an easy one. It's tough because you feel bad for a film like Argentina 1985. I haven't watched it, but the internet loves it.
Really?
They rave about it. Like I see a lot about it on Twitter, and it really is just like an incredible movie. But it's like if it came out in the same year Parasite came out.
Yeah.
You just don't have a chance.
Still.
A movie that's nominated for Best Picture, and it's like you wish there was some kind of like rule that's like if you get a Best Picture nomination, then you're not in the international feature film category. Because it's like we're getting to that point, right? Where, obviously there's only one this year, and I don't think there were any last year. And the year before, I think maybe there was one where an international feature film breaks into the Best Picture category. And so maybe some changes will be on the horizon. But for now, like it's very obvious, one of these films got nominated for the Best Picture of the year across the entire world, and none of the rest did.
Yep.
All Quiet on the Western Front. Germany for Best International Feature Film.
Should we just keep going up?
Should we do Best Film Editing?
Yeah.
All right, Best Film Editing. The Banshees of Inisherin, Michael E.G. Nielsen, Elvis, Matt Vila, and Jonathan Redmond. Everything Everywhere All at Once, Paul Rogers. Tar, Monica Will, and Top Gun Maverick, Eddie Hamilton.
This one's one of the easiest for me.
Maverick?
No.
Really?
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Everything Everywhere All at
See,
Once.
I'm back and forth on it.
The editing for me, is what kind of is part of what takes that film to the next level, right? The editing, all of the cuts they do with the sequences, when they have all the montages of all the different worlds and stuff like that, when they cut between scenes while they're fighting and everything like that, they're so crisp and clean, and it makes you go, ooh. Editing this is one, like maybe I'll fight for, but like I'll listen to reason. This is one that I'm like, this is where Everything Everywhere All at Once, like along with the acting and so many things, this is where it truly shined. And I think it deserves it all the way.
Oh, yeah. It really does just like seamlessly blend multiverse together. Easy. But Maverick is all editing. It's a bunch of jets flying around, and then they took a bunch of footage and went and made a movie out of it. You know, like it's literally without good editing, you wouldn't be able to tell what the crap is going on in the air. Like it did very, very good in telling that story and keeping you in the cockpits, but also understanding what's going on around the jets and everything. So I put Maverick on it. I go back and forth. This is another one that's just so hard for me that I'm just like, I don't know. But
we're gonna keep doing this. We'll say ours, and then Casey's like,
Casey's the deciding factor.
Casey's the Pedro Pascal looking back at Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. Which is the best GIF on the internet right now, or whatever meme, whatever you call them.
I think I sent Josh like 5 of them in one day. He's like, you really like this.
When I saw you made that, I was happy because I loved it so much. But I showed it to, I think I sent it to Cade first, and I was like, this is Casey's new favorite meme format. He sent me like 20 of these.
I chose Top Gun Maverick.
All right.
So
you want to fight this one?
So hold on.
I won't fight this one. This is like what we think is going to happen.
Here's why. Hold on here.
Yeah, let's hear
Let me give you my why. We should start with why. First off, I went to a movie theater. I watched Top Gun Maverick in the movie theater.
To be fair, I never did this.
I was sitting in the movie theater, in the center of the theater. Wow. What a movie.
Casey was like,
no, for real though, the experience was like
watching jets.
It was good, and the cutting and the editing was so good. So if you would like to, I hand the Sharpie to you to argue your point for Everything Everywhere All at Once.
If I went to the movie theater to see Top Gun Maverick, I would be able to definitively mark it.
Yes.
Right? I cannot, but I will like. Give me this.
For viewers.
Put a little asterisk saying Talk to me on Sunday.
All right.
Top Gun Maverick.
Revisit.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Maverick wins.
I'm right there with you, Maverick.
I feel like
But
we
talk
need
to
do
me on
this thing, like, in
Sunday.
the show. That's it. That's what we deserve.
We need to get shorter sleeves to
Yeah,
show off those
sorry.
big old Arnold biceps we got.
Been picking up this baby.
Best
All right.
documentary short. We have The Elephant Whisperers, Haul Out, How Do You Measure a Year, The Martha Mitchell Effect, and Stranger at the Gate.
So I watched half of one of these and it was boring.
It is a documentary.
Yeah, I can usually get into some
Okay,
documentaries, but
I
this
love
was-
documentaries, by the way. I'm just saying, like, they're hard for some people to get into.
Yeah.
Not questioning
This one was
anyone.
not one I was interested in. It was the Martha Mitchell effect about Nixon and everything, and I even put it on while I was riding the bike and found myself just browsing Instagram the whole time. Like it could not suck me in. So
I feel bad because there are a lot of times, there are so many amazing documentaries, and usually I love Oscar season because it gives me a chance to, kind of get a little list. What were the best documentaries of the year and check a few out, and I sadly just with a lot of stuff going on, I didn't end up getting to any of them this year, which I feel sad about, but I feel like I'll get to them eventually, especially if they're good. I didn't make any notes about the short subject one. I don't think I found anything about it. I only made notes about the longer one, about like, the odds that I found.
okay. Well, I just marked Martha Mitchell effect because it's the only one I have any reference for. But
If you thought it was boring, though, then
Yeah, exactly.
maybe
I
we
really
do
have no idea.
The Elephant Whisperers.
I also heard that.
I
one
was
a little
thinking,
boring.
Okay, never
how
mind.
you measure a year.
How do you measure a year?
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Sorry, like people are gonna see this and be like, "These guys
These
called
We
themselves
watch a lot
Yes.
of TV, guys.
These uneducated swine
We are so dumb.
can't even watch a good documentary.
What about the best documentary feature, though? We have All That Breathes, All the Beauty and the Bloodshed, Fire of Love, The House Made of Splinters, and
Navalny.
Navalny. Oh wait, that's the one you were telling me about. Okay, I would vote for that one.
I
didn't
heard
see it,
Navalny's like the front runner.
I loved Navalny. Like that one was good.
So,
It's the one that I heard is the front runner, and it's one that I think I also heard somewhere else as well. Like that's like if I'm gonna watch one of these documentaries, that's the one I heard about.
Yeah. So I watched that one, Fire of Love, and All That Breathes. All That Breathes is interesting. It's about these brothers and they like take care of birds. They're like vets. I don't know. I was kind of I wasn't really into it. And then Fire of Love was really cool. It's about two volcano experts, and it has some of the most like incredible footage of lava flows and volcano eruptions and all this.
did
kind
they
of
go to
stuff.
Iceland?
I don't know. They were all over the world. Like they were literally doing this for like their entire lives. Like since college, they were just doing it over and over, like going to all these really cool places. And it has some amazing footage. Some of it looks like old sci-fi movies because they're like in these like shiny protective suits that look like out of like a 1960s
Right.
sci-fi, and they're like dancing around with like lava flow behind them shooting up, and it's
sounds
real.
crazy.
Like it looks really cool, but I didn't really love it. I would say check it out, at least like skip through it and check out like the different scenes,
Like the
and shots and stuff. But
Very cool.
I mean, it's not very long. So if you wanted to put it on in the background, it would be a great background show. Play with your phone and just kind of look up and appreciate the stuff. Their story's
because-
interesting too.
Well, because you got to think about like that's why documentaries are part of this, right? It's like yes, those shots would be amazing. Even I just like took a picture on like my phone or something like that, but people have to realize like when you go to do a documentary, you have to set up the camera right, just like you have to plan it all just like you would for a regular movie shot to get it to look just right.
Yeah.
And so when they do that with those incredible scenes with, I've got to imagine it's crazy difficult lighting because of all of the lava.
Yeah,
and
with
whatnot.
old cameras too. And they did some crazy stuff. Like at one point they go out on an acid lake in a rubber fishing boat just to get some measurements, and then it like burned through the line, the metal line that they had, and they lost the
Oh my gosh.
they lost the sample, and then the wind picked up and they were stuck on the lake for like 3 hours, and if they would have fallen in, it would like eat their skin.
say,
Like
geez.
stuff like that. They got some interesting stories, and
Wow.
and it's about the love story between the couple that go around. So it's interesting. It was good. But I didn't love it, but I'd say definitely check it out. Navalny was captivating. Navalny was just like a thriller that happened in real life, so check out Navalny for sure.
Navalny is crazy, and like I only watched like a Johnny Harris clip of it, but it was amazing. I would recommend it to anyone. So
Put Navalny down.
Navalny is it. Okay, we finished all. Oh, we have best cinematography to do on this line, here, which is All Quiet on the Western Front by James Friend, Bardo, False Chronicle of a Handful of Truths by Darius Kanji. Sorry, I apologize. Elvis by Mandy Walker. Temple of Light by Roger Deakins.
Empire of Light.
Whoa, wow, that was terrible. Tar by Florian Hofstadter. What do you guys think?
I put down All Quiet on the Western Front. I haven't seen Empire of Light.
It's Roger Deakins,
But
too.
that's
so it's
the thing, right? Like, how do you
vote
against Roger Deakins in cinematography?
Yeah.
So
But I
shouldn't.
didn't see it either.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, and I don't think I looked up anything about this one as far as like what's going on. Like, All Quiet on the Western Front was beautifully shot. Cinematography is gorgeous. And like, it's obviously Roger Deakins is amazing. He's in so many amazing movies. It doesn't mean you have like a guaranteed win, right? Like, yes, a lot of times people vote for it, but
I also put All Quiet on the Western Front.
yeah, let's do it. And then maybe Roger Deakins will humble us.
We committed. Okay, we're there.
Let's start on this side.
Best animated feature.
Best animated feature.
This one is so hard for me, too. So I've yet to see Puss in Boots or Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, and I want to vote Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. Having not seen it, only knowing what it is, I just want it to win. It's like the little one that could, kind of a thing. But I haven't seen it, so I can't really take a big swing on it. I put Turning Red because that movie is pretty incredible, and the subject matter is really good, and it's entertaining, and I really liked it. But
Casey, well, no, I want to hear for once. I don't want you to be last. Let's have you have your.
So
thoughts
I have
first.
watched Turning Red. I believe the Sea Beast. That was a Netflix film, right?
Yes.
And then Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
ugh, I hated that movie.
People loved it though. I heard.
So the Sea
couldn't make it.
Beast, the animation was cool, and you can kind of tell what they were going for and stuff. But I struggled through it.
Took me about a half hour to get into it, and then it picks up.
And see, I never. But to be fair, I watched it with a friend, and just like over Zoom, not like Zoom. Like we talk on Instagram while we like both watch the movie at the same time. And yeah, so we were talking and stuff during it, but I think even if we weren't talking, I would have.
My nieces couldn't get through it. That says something about it.
So like I understand, and there's a lot of beautiful stuff, but whatever. You guys know I love Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. It would be probably my pick for the ones I've seen from this list. It made it onto my top 10 of the year, obviously. Everything that I hear, the crowd favorite would be Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
Really?
Dude, the Puss in Boots: The Last Wish has made it onto like top 100 lists like of all time. It's like this weird anomaly where it's not just like, oh, like because it's part of the like whatever. It really is. People are just like, they go see this movie and they're just like, oh my gosh. I have friends on Letterboxd who like gave it 5 stars and they went back and they saw it again and they're like, confirmed 5 stars. And I'm not saying like I would love it that much. Maybe I would. Who knows? I haven't seen it yet. But it's like strangely good. The question, here's the thing though. This is one that I did look up the odds on, and there is a clear favorite from what I saw. Like this was one website, like so I didn't look at a ton. What do you think it is?
It's gonna be Pinocchio.
It's Pinocchio.
It is the most Oscar baity. Like the animation, I give it. That's the appeal to me. The animation is awesome. Stop motion. I am a sucker for stop motion every single time. I didn't like the music, the songs I didn't enjoy. I didn't like the story didn't keep me like sucked in or whatever. It just none of it worked for me except for the visuals of it all.
So here's the question. Do we try to get a point here or do we take a stand
And go for Marcel?
and go for Marcel or Puss in Boots?
Puss in Boots!
I know.
What are you guys saying? Puss in Boots! I haven't even watched it, and I vote for that.
I know. If any time
Here's
it's
the thing.
appropriate for you to bring up Shrek, it's right now.
As much as I want to vote for Puss in Boots, I feel like at least one of us should have seen it before we actually do it. Because I can talk about hype all the time, but what if we go see it and all of a sudden we're like, oh man, we didn't like this and we voted for it.
So
I literally, for the past like 3 or 4 weeks, have been like checking the theater to see how crowded it is, thinking I'd go see it, and it's almost always sold out on cheap night.
yes, same. I was about to go down to the theaters near our house, and And I was like, I'll just go, like I'll convince my wife that I just need to leave for a little while and go see this by myself. No, there were never seats available because like we have a new baby, right? So I want to be far enough away from folks I don't know. Yeah, never. Like there was maybe 2 seats, but never like a 3-seat section open. I was like, joke. This is a joke. So I would vote, honestly, like Puss in Boots would be great. And I would just want to highlight that really quickly because I hear the same thing. I'm going to go with Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio because it's a point. It's a point to us.
I feel like we get the point. Watch us like be wrong and somehow it doesn't.
I put Inside Out
Turning Red
on my personal one. But
don't confuse those.
But okay. I want Marcel the Shell to win.
I do too.
Now I kind of want Pinocchio to lose. Even if I
any
lose
of these
point.
watch like this sea beast wins and we're just like whatever. I'll take it.
The sea beast is me.
All right. Do you guys care if I like decide how we do these last ones?
Go ahead.
Please.
Let's do screenplays. Is that cool?
Yep.
Let's do best original screenplay.
The Banshees of Inisherin, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fablemans, Tar, The Triangle of Sadness.
What do you think?
I have a vote.
Dramatic.
I have a really good vote.
I have 2 that I can't decide between, so it's going to kind of come down to you guys. So
let's hear it, Casey.
The Banshees of Inisherin, and here's why. I've watched Everything Everywhere All at Once, which I feel like should be a strong contender, but the Banshees of Inisherin highlight something that is so huge, and it's like it's talking about the division of Ireland, which is kind of crazy. Like, why don't you want to talk to me now? Just don't anymore. Like, what happened? Why don't we want to be friends? But also the beauty of this whole the way they tell it, the way that it is, the way it's shot. Everything in that movie deserves...
The dialogue's really funny, too.
Yes, that's it right there. The quips, the quirks, the whole thing. Plus, Brendan Gleeson... Is that his name? Yeah, Brendan Gleeson. Amazing. And then you're sitting over here, like the way he delivers lines. And then you also have freaking Colin Farrell delivering lines. And the side characters and all the way that they deliver all these lines. So beautiful. So well done. I vote The Banshees of Inisherin. Even though it wasn't I don't think it was even in my top films, was it?
I think it was.
Yeah.
It was close to the bottom, but yes.
Sorry, I have a hard time remembering.
That's all right.
That's my vote. Josh, what's your vote?
My 2 that I voted for. Okay, to be fair, it sounds kind of biased, but I feel like they're also the 2 frontrunners. It's the 2 I've seen, right? The Banshees of Inisherin and Everything Everywhere All at Once. I just feel bad because Everything Everywhere All at Once is so original, and it was my number 1 movie of the year, and I want it to win because it really is such like a unique tale, and the way they tell it and the way you had to write all those different universes and make them fit together is just crazy. But I vote for Banshees too. Yes! like I told you, like I couldn't decide, but with like what you said and whatnot, I was like, it is.
I actually want to highlight that I put on this cardigan and good luck towards the Banshees.
I also put Banshees of Inisherin on it.
Mark it down. While he marks it, Vince, do you want to read adapted screenplay?
Yep. All Quiet on the Western Front, Glass Onion, A Knives Out Mystery, Living, Top Gun Maverick, and Women Talking. I had a hard time with this one because, like, none of them are as, like, obviously, I don't know, great. Like I put Top Gun Maverick, but I kind of think of that story, and I'm just like, there's not a lot of, like you said, great lines, like delivery. Like it's kind of just a jet movie, but like it's an amazing movie. So like I gave it to it as best adapted screenplay, but it's nothing like Banshees of Inisherin where it's just like this allegory that represents something different and it's clever and blah blah blah. It's just like, no, it's a jet movie, but it's a good jet movie, like.
So Top Gun Maverick, the best lines of this film, just really quickly, are the lines between Maverick and the commanding officer guy. I just forgot his name.
Oh, Val Kilmer.
Yeah, Val Kilmer.
Iceman.
And they were just...
Oh, I forgot about
one
that
was
scene.
speaking,
So good.
one was typing. That was the best dialogue of this whole film. And so, I don't know. And also, Top Gun Maverick, even though I love it so much, almost is just the first movie on repeat with a more modern tone.
What is it adapted from?
It's adapted. So if you make a sequel... It can't be counted as an original screenplay because they're just looking at the individual movie and it gets adapted from its original.
See, I don't think I have a full understanding of adapted screenplay, so I think I had a hard time with this one.
I just know stuff like that from other podcasts I've listened to.
Right. What did you give it to?
I've heard, and this one was a little tougher because I thought about these and I've seen a decent amount of them. The one that I saw that I feel like people were talking about and hoping that it wins an award, because a lot of people were hoping it would get more recognition than it did from the Oscars, was Women Talking. And Women Talking, it's a rare case of she didn't. Women Talking is a really important story, and I believe it's Frances McDormand is the lead. And it's kind of weird that you have this movie that is nominated for Best Picture, and it's nominated for Adapted Screenplay, but Frances McDormand isn't nominated for anything, which is like kind of weird, especially because of her prowess in recent years with
Nomadland,
with
right?
Nomadland and 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. But obviously, like, not everyone's going to be like it, and it's not like I haven't seen it, but I've heard that she still does an incredible job. But I've heard that what really does stand out is just this story that it tells.
Would you guys like the first line really quickly of the plot of this from Wikipedia? It's kind of dark.
Maybe not for the internet, because I know like what it's about.
Just go ahead and read it. That's pretty intense. I haven't watched the show, but
it's a very intense movie, obviously, about a lot of real issues, obviously a lot of them involving women, and it's one that's why I know that it got, like, a lot of people wanted it to get more, because there's a lot of social issues that go along with it. And I don't know what it's adapted from. Like,
a book.
I think it's a book, yeah.
It's a book from Women Talking, and I believe it's kind of based out of essentially, possibly, I don't want to get this wrong. Never mind. It's just adapted from a book that's stories about women talking.
And so I've heard a lot of people think that this one might win, but it's also one that's up for it. So I don't have a...
I'd be fine with doing that.
Well,
Again,
I mean, I think you guys both did Top Gun Maverick, right?
Did you too?
Like, we can pick whatever. It doesn't have to be a puppet, but I'm down for it.
I honestly think from the perspective of, like, Top Gun Maverick was a fan favorite because it was like bringing back something like, right, like our parents loved that series, that show, and then they brought it to us and we're like, yeah, Danger Zone returning. But it didn't, like, not to be rude, but it wasn't a film with depth. And so if this Women Talking is a film with depth and has something, I feel like that's what they're going to lean into. They like a film with depth.
I buy that. Like I said, like I was saying, like,
if we're going for points,
film.
If we voted for Pinocchio.
Women Talking is the only one on Best Picture I haven't seen yet, and it's literally just because it's not easily available. Yeah, and it's not in the theaters anymore, so I just don't know where to see it yet, and I don't really want to pay $25 to see a movie by myself.
By the way, the music on this has got to be quite amazing because it's by Hildur.
I don't know how to say this, but yeah.
Yeah, she's great.
She's amazing. She did Joker, was it, right? I believe.
Well, I still have.
Yes,
she did Joker.
She did Tar this year as well.
Yeah, she did Tar.
Sicario.
Oh, and the music in Tar is fantastic.
Arrival. Sicario, the original Sicario.
All right.
She's done a lot.
She's done a lot, and I remember Joker from recent years. She's incredible. And I think, what has she done for television? Because I remember it. Like, we'll probably need to move on. I thought I remember Chernobyl.
Oh,
she
wow.
did the music for Chernobyl.
Yeah, she does some really great stuff.
I remember that I knew something else.
Yeah, put Women Talking down. Let's do Women Talking on there. I feel more comfortable with that than the Jet movie.
Women Talking. All right. We've got left, we have Best Director, the 4 acting categories, and then Best Picture. I'm not missing any, right?
No.
Those should be it. Okay, Best Director, and we'll go over these, and I have a favorite, but also to be noted, no women directors this year. Again, sadly. We'll pull the Natalie Portman. Here are the all-male nominees.
Here, we can
because there were definitely some deserving ones. There were some amazing movies that were directed by women. I'm trying to remember. I know that there were a couple.
I think the Woman King's in the conversation.
Well, the Women King just completely being snubbed by the Oscars, and it's available on Netflix right now, so you can watch it. And I haven't,
that's
but it's
amazing.
on my list, and it was just like completely shut out. Like Viola Davis, right? She's the lead, and she's
great.
She does incredible.
She was so good in it.
You watched it?
Mm-hmm. I saw it in theaters.
There's
it's
just
good.
Nothing, no nominations of any kind. So So there's just so many things that like kind of goes into it, but we hope for the future for better, right? Best director, The Banshees of Inisherin, Martin McDonagh. Everything Ever All at Once, The Daniels, Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinert. The Fablemans, Steven Spielberg. Tar, Todd Field. Triangle of Sadness, Ruben Östlund.
I gave it to The Fableman, Steven Spielberg. I really liked that movie. And if I know he's won Oscars in the past, but like I feel like this is the one, like if he's gonna win any Oscar, I feel like this is the one for This is the one that he deserves it for. This is a story of his life and his trauma, his parents' divorce and how that affected him, how that affected him, how movies kind of formed his life from childhood. It's really, really well directed. It's really well acted. Like this one, I feel like he really deserves it for, and I would like for it to win something. I don't think it'll win anything else. Sure. It's not really nominated for very many other things, but I don't know. Steven Spielberg, I think, really deserves it. If I was going to go for any other one, I'd probably say Everything Everywhere All at Once, because that's just a feat in itself, and again, beautifully directed and shot and everything. But I really hope for a Fableman's win on that one. I'd like to see Steven Spielberg get something from this trauma that he experienced.
I put the Daniels just to transition. I put the Daniels from Everything Everywhere All at Once. Just obviously a movie like this, I'm sure you read the screenplay and it sounds really good, but you kind of have to figure like that screenplay, it sounds amazing, but it's like, okay, how do we make sure that we film this so that, yes, obviously editing was heavily involved, which is why I thought it should win editing, but making sure that you direct this in a way that it will come across
it's right. A hard movie to...
Right? Because there's so much going on, right? And you have to do it, and every single scene that they had to film and everything, I just thought was incredible. So my vote is for the Daniels.
They pulled some pretty incredible acting out of all of their actors. Like how many are nominated from that movie? 4, right? At least
Michelle
3
Yeoh,
I can think off the top of my head.
Steven Su, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Kei Kwan.
Yep.
4. And the only other movie that had that was Banshees, right? Banshees of Inisherin, also 4.
Banshees. Oh, I'm actually going to go with Banshees as well on this one.
Oh, wait, what?
I think you're...
There's no
Best
one.
director. The Banshees director.
Oh, is he there? Oh, yeah, Martin McDonagh.
He's number 1.
Well, neither of us voted for him.
Yeah, so we're all split.
I said as well because I was talking about Banshees. Sorry.
You were talking about that it will be your favorites.
Yeah. Best director, I'm going to go with Banshees because that's a film for Ireland from Ireland. I think it's a film for Ireland and the world from Ireland based around the fact that they did so much doing that and being the director of something that's just so public and open about here's the issue with our country. And pulling Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson together. They've done another movie that was really well accepted called Bruges, which was good as well. But I think that this one definitely takes the cake for me. So, but I will yield
to what
the floor.
So how are we gonna do this?
Okay,
to Everything Everywhere All at Once.
There you go. Okay. That splits it. I'm okay with that.
And I feel bad because I haven't seen The Fablemans yet. It's also on the list. And I know Steven Spielberg, and it's all about that. And so I feel like my opinion isn't as educated as it could be if I had seen it. And so someone who has seen almost all the movies, everything but Women Talking, you said, right?
Of the best pictures, yeah.
Of the best picture, right?
I'm honestly okay with the Daniels winning.
Well, I feel bad because I picked Everything Everywhere People for so much.
Well,
and I feel like there's not much left with The Fablemans. Should we do it?
All right, give it to Fablemans.
The Fablemans. Everything Everywhere All at Once. We'll have more later.
Yeah.
Speaking
I'm
of,
gonna feel real bad when that one doesn't win.
Let's do Best Supporting Actress.
Angela Bassett, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
So good.
Hong Chow, The Whale. And you guys remember Hong Chow?
Yeah,
from The Menu.
Yep, from The Menu, and she kills it in The Whale too. She does really, really good in The Whale.
Carrie Condon, The Banshees of Inisherin, and to really bring everything back around, she is in Better Call Saul. She is one of the actresses, they have a few over the years, who plays Mike's daughter-in-law, the mother to Kaylee, his granddaughter. So she's on that as well.
Huh.
Jamie Lee Curtis from Everything Everywhere, and Stephanie Hsu from Everything Everywhere.
So I just want to call out really quickly that all of these that I've seen so far, right? Like the only one I haven't seen is The Whale on this list of films that people have been done. Each of these actresses, actors, whatever you want to call them, have done so phenomenally.
All of these roles I love.
Jamie Lee Curtis, and I'm not trying to rag on anything, but going from the final Halloween film that we just recently watched last year to this, she really upped her game. I'm sorry to say it like in any other way besides.
She downed her game, right? Because this came out first. Oh, well, Everything Everywhere was filmed. I think, didn't they wrap filming like as the pandemic hit? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so I
it's
don't
like
know.
It just took a while to do all that editing and get it to us. But
Or stepped up
Sorry,
her game
that
or
was
down her
all
game, whatever it is.
technicals.
Jamie Lee Curtis, amazing. Stephanie Hsu, great work. But Angela Bassett, in my opinion, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, she was queen, and that was amazing.
Stole every scene. So powerful.
I mean, think about she's in minor spoilers, I guess, for Black Panther. She's only in a little over half the movie. And
If
she
even,
receives
right?
a Best Actress nomination because she deserves that. My realistic vote is for Angela Bassett. Like, I think that she's the one who a lot of people will think deserves to win, and I think that she also deserves it. You know, I'm biased, and I don't think it's going to happen, but Stephanie Hsu is my, like, I would love to happen. I know it's not going to happen.
She's the other one on this list that I thought the same thing. Like, the two people that every time they're on screen stole the show was Stephanie Hsu and Angela Bassett.
I did love Carrie Condon so much, and I feel bad that I'm not putting her up there because she was really, really, really good. A lot of people are talking, and it would be like, it wouldn't be bad. It's good. But a lot of people are talking about Jamie Lee Curtis possibly winning as a like lifetime achievement sort of award.
I am the only person in the world who
gets that vote?
I love Jamie Lee Curtis. I love her. I forgot about her in this movie. She never really stood out to me. Like everyone around her was stealing the show from me. She was funny with her hot dog fingers, but like even my sister was just like, Jamie Lee Curtis was incredible in that, and I was like, was she? I have to think about it.
As someone who, here's the thing: if you've seen anything about the podcast, you know Vince is the Jamie Lee Curtis simp. Okay,
it's true. I love her to death, but for some reason she did not that much for me in this. I was honestly surprised to see her name on the nomination list. Like,
and maybe
it's been a while since I've seen the movie, but
maybe it'll be that it'll be like a nomination as like a lifetime nomination. Like you got nominated this year or something like that. I definitely feel that Angela Bassett or Stephanie Hsu or even if Carrie Condon won, I'd be happy as well. And Hong Chow.
Like I said, was great in that movie.
I think we go with Angela Bassett if you guys are cool with that.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But
I put Stephanie Hsu on my personal one just because I would love to see her
personal
win
as well.
I would love to see her win, but
Well, let's do
Angela
that
Bassett,
then.
No,
No.
do Angela Bassett.
We voted for Pinocchio, okay?
Okay.
But here's the thing. I also will love to see Angela Bassett win if she wins.
Oh yeah,
Right? Like,
this
Any of
is a
these-
hard one.
this is one
of the
where-
hardest categories.
yeah, this wasn't like animated feature where we were like, Pinocchio.
Yeah.
Ugh. Like, all of these, any of these win, we'll be like, yeah, like happy, right?
We
Like,
will be.
And it's a comic book movie, so I'm a little bit leaning towards that.
All right.
Are there any? Is the other Black Panther the only other Marvel movie that's won an Oscar?
I believe so.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's
get that one.
one.
Get that one.
Eternals won something, didn't it?
No.
Yeah.
Like visual effects stuff. I know that
Oh, they've won
other
that kind of
Marvel
stuff.
movies have won visual
Okay.
effects things.
I don't think Eternals won anything.
Really? Eternals?
I think it did win. It was nominated for something.
Okay.
Maybe.
While Casey looks that up, I'm going to read off the...
Gold Awards. So no, they didn't.
Got him.
I was wrong.
Best Supporting Actor. Brendan Gleeson, The Banshees of Inisherin. Brian Tyree... Well, why did I say it like it was French? Sorry. I mean, the film does take place in New Orleans, so it kind of counts,
maybe.
right?
It works.
Brian Tyree Henry, Causeway. Judd Hirsch, The Fablemans. Barry, is it Keegan or is he
Keegan.
Keegan, right? The Banshees of Inisherin. And Kei Kwan, Ke Huy Quan, you say, right?
Sure.
I've heard his name so much.
Ke Huy-
I should know.
Ke Huy
I'm
Quan.
pretty sure it's Ke Huy Quan. Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Easy one for me. Give it a short round.
Yes.
Give it to what?
You said give it to short round. Give it to Kiwi.
Oh, okay.
He was incredible in that movie. He was so good.
'Kay.
So good.
Mark Ke Huy Quan. Okay.
Okay.
That's who's going to win. He's been amazing. Everyone loves him. Everyone loves him this award season. He's won 1 million freaking awards for Best Supporting Actor, and every single time he goes up on stage, and it's like a little kid that you just gave the world's largest freaking lollipop to. It's insane. He's like so happy and gleeful, and everyone loves him.
With happiness.
I love him. His performance and Everything Everywhere All at Once is amazing. The story's amazing as well, just his comeback and everything like that. To be at all of these award shows with Steven Spielberg also being there from giving him a star and all that stuff. It's just incredible stories all around, and his performance is insane. We have to talk about, so I feel bad I haven't seen The Fabelmans, so you can talk about Judd Hirsch. I don't know.
Again, surprised that that's on there.
Surprised he's on there.
He's not even in it that much.
And then
he like shows up for like maybe 15 minutes or something and then is gone again. It's weird that he's nominated.
And then we can talk about the Banshees actors as well here really quick. But I did see Causeway. So Causeway is on Apple TV Plus, and it has good. You saw it as well?
I watched it.
So I watched it because my buddy who I watch movies with suggested it, and he was like, I think it's Oscar nominated. I was like, I didn't hear about it. And he's like, oh yeah, Brian Tyree Henry got nominated for Best Supporting Actor. And so I was like, okay, yeah, for sure. And we watched it, and the movie is really, really good. I like the movies. And I think in my like revised, because I keep updating my list on Letterboxd for like top 10 movies of the year, I think it's on there. It gets up to like number 9 or something like that. Like in my revised list, I actually ended up really, really enjoying it, and I did really understand why he got nominated.
Oh yeah,
he just delivers this. It's just he's such. Both of them are such interesting characters, right? The character Jennifer Lawrence plays, and then him, and their relationship and how they go about talking about loss and trauma, even though they're like two completely different types of trauma and all these things that are happening, and so much is just left unsaid, but you can just feel so much emotion from him. It's incredible. And obviously Jennifer Lawrence is an amazing actress, and she's amazing to play off him, and she's had better roles, right? Silver Linings Playbook and stuff like that, where she's done better. She does do a really good job in this, but I also obviously understand why she wasn't nominated for Best Actress. Brian Tyree, if you don't have any other reason to watch this movie, watch it for his performance. It's amazing. And so I still say Ke Huy Quan, but
gotta shout him out.
And I don't even know if I can say he's like my second favorite, because now I really want to talk about Barry Keoghan and Brendan Gleeson.
We really got to talk about Barry Keoghan in Banshees of Inisherin.
Oh my gosh,
what a champion of actors! Like knowing, okay, this is the same guy who was the most boring performance of my life in Eternals.
True.
Are you kidding me? He was the best part of that movie.
Well,
I just hated Eternals in
skills
general.
were
I didn't
good.
really like it
His
either, but
skills
he's
were
my
good.
favorite.
But he just was different. I didn't love him that much. I wasn't that excited. However, in this film, he hits. I'll let you tell the rest of your feelings. But for me, he just. It's like when you make the perfect egg sandwich, and you bite into it. That was Barry Keoghan's
it's not like too eggy. It's just the right. You get
it's
it all.
the whole thing.
Okay, super mild spoilers for Banshees of Inisherin. Super mild. Skip like 45 seconds or something. Well, there goes that dream.
Yeah.
I just like after he said that, I just kind of like, oh, my heart. What?
Yeah.
Why am I feeling these things? Like, and then afterwards, when you find out like what happens and stuff like that, just this last ditch and speaking with Carrie Condon, I don't remember her character's name, just on that lake, just in this beautiful scenery and stuff like that, and you just see his face, and later on, obviously, when you realize what's going on and the emotions and everything, not to mention the hilarious part that he brings into this film that's so funny, but then also so saddening when you realize also what's going on with his home life and everything, with his dad, the police officer, and all that stuff. He's just incredible, and it's hilarious. His performance is hilarious as well as heart-wrenching in the same film. He's so good.
There's so much depth to his character, and it actually like plays into like maybe a stereotype about people who we perceive as different or having like, limitations mentally. His ability to show us the depths of a character, that it's not just like a one way or another, that this person who is suffering can bring joy, can bring like good moments into it, but can also engage you in deep conversations and also put forward like an effort to find a way to better their life. And it's just, oh yeah, you're right. There goes that dream. But it's wild. Such a good actor. And
I
then
apologize for my Irish accent, by the way. Like I half tried because I was like, I gotta at least like try to do it justice, and then I was like, this is so
Good
bad.
luck with that accent, man.
well, and Brendan Gleeson's character, let's stepping over to that.
Did you have anything you wanted to say about Barry Keoghan before we?
No, he's incredible. Like, he really does embody that person. Like the way he speaks, his inflection point, just like he is completely different than what he does in Eternals or what he does in he does Joker, at the end of the Batman, and I think he's in a Christopher Nolan movie, and this one is just like,
Yeah, he's in Dunkirk.
Like if I would have seen him in Banshees first, I would have believed like that's more of his real personality or his real real life person kind of a thing, because he just sells it that well. So I don't know, he does incredible, but I'm still a Kiwi Kwan guy.
And then Brendan Gleeson. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're good. You're good. No, Brendan Gleeson, he puts on what I would probably define as, maybe from my perspective, I haven't seen all of his works, but many of them, the performance of his career. And here's why I feel that way. He suddenly he gives you that feeling that he still cares, but he also is distancing himself from you. The way that he commits to the character, and he doesn't really cut off his finger. Sorry, spoilers, but like him doing that and him like wandering around as if it's just nothing. It's whatever, like I've committed to this decision. And you feel the disgust and the angst and like his just desire. I want to make music. I want to write poetry. I want to do these things before I die. I want to be remembered. And like, it was just beautiful, and just his whole persona as an actor. And yeah, he was so good.
The perfect person to play off with Colin Farrell. Those two obviously are the two main characters, and obviously he's a supporting actor for the nominations and whatnot, but those two acting off each other for the most important scenes of this movie was really just, and all four actors that got nominated for their roles in Banshees, I believe, deserved it, but those two just leading the way and headlining it they were so incredible. And it just made the movie so heartfelt, but also, like we've talked about, also hilarious, so funny, like getting me to laugh. So
let's step over to best
Whoa, what are we doing?
Oh, we got to talk about Ke Huy Quan?
Did we decide we're doing Ke Huy Quan?
Oh, we didn't.
Okay.
I told him to mark it.
Sorry,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
I was like, mark Ke Huy Quan,
wait a
and then I'll
minute.
also talk about why I love all
So
this.
our
Gotcha.
best supporting actor was Ke Huy Quan.
Okay.
And then
Good.
let's jump back over to best actress, or do you want to do best actor? Which do you want to do first?
Let's talk about best actor.
Okay.
All right.
Best actresses
Best
for the final.
actor.
Because we kind of already started talking about Colin Farrell.
We did. Best actor, Austin Butler in Elvis. Colin Farrell, Banshees of Inisherin. Brendan Fraser, The Well. Paul Mescal, After Sun. And Bill Nye, Living.
For me, I want Brendan Fraser to take this. I want it for so many reasons. Number one, he deserves it. Number two, he's a freaking legacy actor who played a big role in my childhood with The Mummy, with George of the Jungle.
It's like George of the Jungle.
Friggin' Encino Man. Like, yeah, he's Encino Man.
Yeah, he is Encino
I had
Man.
to. Yeah, that's him. Anyway, I love Brendan Fraser. I love him. And there's some drama that went behind the scenes. He's kind of had a hard time, like, over the years. This is his comeback story. He came back. He hasn't been in anything in so long. He did a couple of DC projects, here on the side, and then he just comes back strong with a freaking Oscar nomination. And he killed it in this movie. There's one scene that brought just tears to my eyes. Like, this whole movie is a little manipulative. Like, it is a depressing movie. But that one scene, it's in the trailer, where he turns to the camera and he just says, like, with tears in his eyes, and just the most powerful thing, just like, I have to see that I've done one thing good with my life. I don't remember the exact line, but it's powerful and it hits you hard. And I love this guy so much, and I would love to see him finish up this comeback story with this Oscar win, just blow everybody away. So I am 100% in on it on Brendan Fraser.
So I haven't seen the movie, but I also agree with you because of the comeback story, but also all the reviews I watched of Brendan Fraser's performance in The Whale, people say he deserves it because he's been here for so long and hasn't had the recognition that he deserves. But the work he did to make this film what it was sounds incredible. Like the way he delivered the role, everything like that. Like I said, I haven't watched the film, but everything I've seen, he deserves it. However, the less objective part of me just wants Colin Farrell to win.
He also deserves an Oscar at some point in his life.
He does.
Like, when's he gonna get his Oscar? His Oscar.
Well, can I hear you tell a quick story? Like, do you guys
Please.
remember the first Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them? Like, I know
try to forget.
I remember I watched.
I know that
That's
song
all.
is a blip in a lot of people's memory, but he leads out this such a strong role, and he like puts on the performance of his
I
lifetime.
hate that you brought this movie up.
And
Like,
no, just hold on here for
We're
a
talking about
second.
the best movies, Casey.
But hold on here. But then they just like, I'm talking about Colin Farrell's performance. He leads out this so effectively and strongly, and then they're like, woohoo, Johnny Depp, and I was like, ah!
Exactly. That's why I hate that you brought this up. Like, they replaced the perfect character or actor for this character with a worse version of the worst actor for the role.
100.
I have no problem with Johnny Depp, but like they had the perfect guy in Colin Farrell.
Yes.
So stupid.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like the less like person looking at this. Colin Farrell, been here for a long time, done such good work. His acting in this film, it really just it shows you
And look at
the skill and the resilience and the beauty of him.
his story too. Kind of going from like this kind of pretty boy actor, you know, no one really takes him serious, to doing like all these real serious roles now, getting Oscar nominations, doing some great stuff. He's really cool. I wouldn't mind if he won it, but that's not my vote.
I've already said a little bit about Colin Farrell, and you guys know I love him. There are some people talking about Austin Butler in Elvis. I haven't seen it, and I've told you I don't really have a desire to see it, not because I think it's bad.
I just want to say I've
understand.
already forgotten the whole movie. Just really calling that out.
And so you know how they are with people who portray other actors. There's a lot of time Oscar buzz for how you do.
Does kind of like really embody Elvis. Too.
Like,
I
obviously,
don't
like,
really know Elvis, but he.
Who is it that won Best Actress last year for playing Judy Garland? Renee Zellweger. Like, the Oscars loves that type of thing.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff around that. But from what I've heard, Brendan Fraser is the front runner. And you can mark it. Mark it. And now I have a quick moment to talk about After Sun. and
Really?
Paul Mescal. Yes. Did you see After Sun?
No, I don't know anything about it.
After Sun, I'm pretty sure I've talked about this with people. I've talked about this with a lot of people.
But you didn't bring it to the podcast.
I haven't talked about it on the podcast.
Okay.
I didn't watch it until after. And keep in mind, this is like personal, right? If you go onto my Letterboxd right now and you look up my top 10 movies of 2022, After Sun is 2.
Wow.
My number 2 movie of the year. It was one, I watched it the first night. It left me feeling so melancholy and thinking about so much. And then afterwards, the next morning, and I thought about it more, I put it up to 5 stars. I only rated 2 movies 5 stars last year, Everything Everywhere and After Sun. And this is the only nomination for this movie. And I understand why. It's an A24 movie, right? And that's not, that means you can't get Oscar nominations. Everything Everywhere is the most nominated film, right? I just, like, I know Brendan Fraser's most likely going to win, and I actually really like that. I just, like, I wish that for After Sun, Paul Mescal would win. It's just incredibly, I won't go too far into it because that's a whole other discussion. I could literally have a whole podcast just talking about After Sun. The whole movie is him and his daughter, who he doesn't see very much because him and his ex-wife are divorced and they share custody, but he doesn't live in Scotland anymore, where they're from. They're on a vacation in Turkey, and it's just them on this vacation, and basically so much of the movie is just him being with his daughter, and I can't really say much without going into spoilers. So it's basically just him with his daughter, and basically the movie is really ambiguous on a lot of things purposefully for a lot of the storytelling points that it's trying to make. But there's basically just so much more going on with this man in his life and whatnot, and he just delivers such an incredible performance. It's so deserving of the nomination, and even though he won't win for After Sun, that's just like that's like even far, I think maybe even more than Stephanie Sue winning supporting actress. I would like, if Paul Mescal won Best Actor, I would like jump out of my seat and cheer so loud, because I loved his performance and it was incredible, but just so that maybe this movie would get more sets of eyes like I believe it deserves. Like, if you have, I don't know where it is right now, because when I watched it, I just had heard really good things about it, and so I ended up renting it for like, I think it was like $10 to rent at the time, but I did it because I thought it was going to be good, and I was just like,
Worth the money.
Money. It was one that I'd been thinking about, like one of those that left me thinking, and like I said, I talked about it and the ideas that go along with it with people for a while after.
I'll try to get to that one before Sunday then.
Do it. So we're going with Brendan Fraser for Best Actor.
Yes.
Let's toss it back to Best Actress. We got Kate Blanchett, Tar, Ana de Armas, Blonde, Andrea Riseborough to Leslie, Michelle William, The Fablemans, and Michelle Yeoh, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Vince, what's your vote?
I mean, can you bet against Kate Blanchett? If anyone's gonna win, it's gonna be Michelle Yeoh. And
those two are definitely
I would love it to be Michelle Yeoh. I would prefer it to be Michelle Yeoh. Kate Blanchett in Tar is just like a force to be reckoned with.
That's why Tar is what it is, it is.
It's
right?
because of her.
Like, it's not that because it's nominated for screenplay and for these other things as well. It's not that it's not good in those other categories because it is, but the reason this movie is where it is because of Kate Blanchett, 100%. And she's definitely, I think maybe one was ahead of the other as far as odds and whatnot, blah, blah, blah. Those are the top two. Michelle Yeoh, and that's my obvious preference. I haven't seen Tar. I know that you said that you watched it or part of it. I don't remember.
I'm getting through it. I haven't finished it yet, but I'm about halfway through it right now. And like she literally has just like monologues that just go and go and go. And she just is killing it the entire time through these one take shots where I'm just like, you know those movies where they do a one shot and you kind of forget, but it's like usually action scenes and you're like, that's really impressive. She does freaking one shots in this movie that just are her just monologuing and like moving around the scene to different places in the thing. And it's just like, she is still just like going and just like killing this. So she's just, like I said, it is just, from what I've seen so far, I'm going to finish it tonight after you guys leave. I just don't know if I can bet against her. Like, I really don't. She's so good in it. Like, I don't know.
I got one word for you. Rakakuni. Like, that's why I think that Michelle Yeoh needs to win. It's just being able to say that word.
Just because you can say the word?
Rakakuni.
Or do you think that the raccoon should win?
Can we do what we did last year?
What was that?
Hedge our bets for half a point?
Oh, do a half. Oh, yeah,
we did that,
that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah. Well,
I
hedge
honestly,
our bets to get
like,
half a point.
Yeah.
Because I feel bad. Like, I don't want to leave either one of them. I
so
want to do both of them.
you bet. So you put both down, and if we win it, then you only get a half point instead of a full point. Yeah.
Okay.
I forgot about that little
I did too.
caveat that we had.
It probably could have helped.
In a couple of these.
But we're pretty far
We're
gone.
far committed. But
We're
no,
to the last
I
freaking
kind
category.
of agree with you, though. Like, Michelle Yeoh, like, there was an article actually written, or like she did an interview where she's like, people were literally telling me to retire before this film, and now she's one of the most wanted actresses in Hollywood.
And she's another one of those like legacy actors that just like played a big role in every kung fu movie that I've seen. You know, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Just she's amazing in all of these things, and at her age, she's still doing like all this amazing kung fu, and yeah, every time she shows up. Every time she's like the best part.
Well, I mean, and she has so much of this movie is amazing, right? We've talked about it, but there's the reason that she is the leading actress and she's the face of this movie. her performance in Everything Everywhere All at Once is just so incredible. And this, because there's so many different aspects that you have to think about behind this character, right? Someone who is in the Asian American community who has a close connection to someone like her father, right? Gong Gong or Alpha Gong Gong and stuff like that. And then also to the daughter who's so strongly American into the new and liberal and homosexual, all these things that are just so new, and they're the new world. It's so much new world versus old world stuff, and her being caught in the middle of that while also being caught in the middle of all this multiverse madness and stuff like that. And she has to learn so much, and she does so much, and she does all this incredible kung fu as well, and just there's just so much that goes into this movie, and I love all the performances in it, but she truly does carry the film. The story of this film is, I think, possibly one of the best things about it and everything, but Michelle Yeoh really does just give just an incredible performance that's worthy. Like, we don't have to debate this. They're both worthy of it. Like, either way it goes, it's going to be so, either way, even if someone else wins, it's going to be deserved.
I'd be honestly happier if Michelle Yeoh won it, because Kate Blanchett, like, she probably doesn't have any room on her shelf anymore at this point, right? Like, give it to someone else. You know, vote for the underdog a little bit.
I could see it going either way, which is why we've hedged our bets.
Hedged our bets.
Hedge it.
But I'm leaning more heavily into Michelle Yeoh. I just want to note that. All right. Here we are to the final category for the Pause Where and Play Oscars 2023 95th Academy Awards ballot. For Best Picture, we have All Quiet on the Western Front, a Netflix film. Avatar, The Way of Water, a Disney film. The Banshees of Inisherin, Searchlight. Elvis, Warner Bros. Everything Everywhere All at Once, an A24 film. The Fablemans, Universal. Tar, Focus Features. Top Gun, Maverick, Paramount, another parentheses, Tom Cruise. Triangle of Sadness, Neon. And Women Talking, Orion Pictures.
Do you think Top Gun Maverick could win this?
No.
Nobody does? He saved the movie industry, guys. This movie was the top grossing movie for how long? Do you think Maverick could win?
I don't think it will win, though. It deserves an award.
The Best Blockbuster
Best
Award?
Blockbuster of the Year.
I don't even know if it deserves that over this list.
The savior of the film industry, whatever you want to call it. But it does not deserve Best Picture.
It's not my Best Picture either.
All right.
I know what Vince's is.
Okay. So I have two.
All right, what is it?
My pick and the pick I think that'll win. Obviously, you guys know what my pick is.
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Exactly.
What'll win?
What do you think would win then?
Avatar:
Banshees?
Way of Water. He's gonna go Avatar. He's gonna go Avatar: Way of Water.
The Banshees of
Banshees
Inisherin.
will take it?
Think about what's won the past few years, right? It just
definitely got
leans
more of a
so heavy into those story, character-driven, allegorical type movies, which isn't always bad. Like, obviously, we love Parasite and all things like that. And Coda won last year when a lot of people thought it wouldn't, but it's because it was so heavily influenced by events and stuff like that and characters, right? Everything Everywhere All at Once is the one that a lot of people want to win. It's a popular pick, which a lot of times isn't Hollywood and the Academy's pick, right? But it's gotten so much buzz and still critical acclaim that I believe it's still... I'm saying that I think Banshees of Inisherin will win, even though Everything Everywhere All at Once, I believe, it's close, but it's the odds favorite to win. And you know I love Everything Everywhere All at Once. But just seeing what's won in recent years, I think my biggest one that kind of like pushed over the edge for me, Coda was one that people weren't expecting, but it was like, oh, okay. When Green Book won, and everyone was like, really? Are we serious right now? Like, it was good, but really, Green Book. And here's the thing. I like Banshees of Inisherin as a winner a lot more than Green Book as a winner. But just as far as like the type of stories that end up winning Best Picture, I lean more towards Banshees of Inisherin.
I see what you're saying, but if you strip away all the kung fu and all the crazy multiversal stuff, like, this is a pretty Oscar-y Oscar-y movie. Everything
And it
Everywhere is.
is.
It's a story about, like you're saying, you know, a mother, a daughter, generational issues, freaking cultural issues, you know, all that kind of stuff is baked in there with a little sprinkle of blockbuster kung fu and crazy multiversal blah, blah, blah. So it's all there. It's got the popular vote. It's a great movie. I put Everything Everywhere All at Once for mine.
Here's why I get scared about Everything Ever All at Once, right? Film releases in January, obviously not like when you do it old. It's had time, and the time has garnered it success and accolades, and it's won so much this award season. What I hate about Hollywood and and the Academy and stuff like that, right, is eventually it gets to a place, and I see this on like Twitter. I'm in a lot of like film Twitter, kind of like, not like just like the people I follow. It kind of just ends up seeing what I'm on its timeline,
Right.
for like the film snobs, and I'll say that I'm like a film snob to an extent, but film snobs on Twitter and the people who end up voting on these movies are film snobs, right? It's not cool to like Everything Everywhere All at Once anymore. It's gotten popular and all of this stuff, and it's been out for so long, and it's not like the pick, right? It's like, oh,
Okay,
yes, everyone
hipsters.
loves it.
Okay.
But it's not cool to do that anymore. That's why I worry for it, is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that that's deserved.
That's a good argument, yeah.
I'm just saying I've looked at like what's been winning past years and stuff like that, the amount of time it's been out, and just how the people who are going to be the ones who ultimately vote, which is everyone, right? So Best Picture, it's obviously like the people who vote on these things, the people who work in those studios or in those specific categories, who have worked in those in the past, and then Best Picture is all of the people who worked in all of those categories end up voting on it. I'm hoping that the love for it and everything just carries it through, and that Everything Everywhere wins. I'm scared, though.
Have faith.
Young one, have faith.
I think that Everything Everywhere All at Once will win because I'm on the same page as Vince is with what the stripped down story is of it. And it's high time, and I think that it's coming to kind of more of a head that like Asian American stories are being told. I think like looking at it very similar to Coda, right? Child of deaf adults, right? Is what that story is about. It's the same. It's a similar type of story. It's the vein of like the changes. How do we deal with the expectations? Like I use this as an example. Like I know a lot of like Asian American kids whose parents are like, this is what you will be. This is who you should be. These are the groups you should be a part of. And we can see that told also in Turning Red, kind of like with the expectations of the parent. But if we step back and we look at Everything Everywhere All at Once, it makes it digestible for the everyday American palate.
Kind of a broader audience.
Yeah, that's the word right there. A broader audience. So I think Everywhere All at Once has the flair, the story, and the depth to win it. And the folks with the accent.
No, and that's the thing. You know, I'll love to market, but this is just one. I'm not going to like put an asterisk and be like, see me Sunday, because I think that a different one is going to win. It's going to be more like a please. And then if Banshees wins, I'll just be like, it won, but I'm not happy about it.
My only defense to the stuff that you brought up was, oh crap, I just lost my train of thought.
It's all good.
Shoot.
Oh crap.
Oh yeah, sorry. My only defense is like, look at the last couple of movies, the surprise winners. Coda, no one expected it. And it's not kind of your typical Oscar movie. And then the one before that was like Parasite, right? That's not your typical Oscar movie, and that kind of blew everyone's mind. So maybe the Academy's evolving and opening their minds a little, broadening their minds a little bit, and
we can hope.
Maybe at this point we can get a fun kung fu action movie as a winner instead of the funny, deep, introspective allegory. I don't know, maybe.
The dark humor of Banshees.
Watch, we do all of this, and they're like...
Avatar.
Okay, let's pick a real one.
Women talking. Let's do women talking. Or The Fabelmans.
The Fabelmans, I think, like has like a weird like...
I don't think it'll be
Best Picture. Like, people talking about it. Tar is still there because it has like the screenplay nom. Like usually if you have something like that, it's like you need to have... It's not saying that you have to have these things for a feature to win, right? But it's got the directing nom, it's got the screenplay nom, it has an acting nom. It's got the pieces, right? And it's definitely Oscar-y.
Yeah.
Oscar-y.
But,
Definitely Oscar-y.
And then Triangle of Sadness is an interesting one. I haven't watched it yet, but I know the story and I understand why it's nominated for Best Picture. But it's not going to win.
I don't really want to go into it, but it was
I just can't. Avatar: The Way of Water got nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah. I don't
Okay. I would love to have a
that's
conversation
my
with
question
you about this.
What
Why?
is going on?
Why was it nominated?
What are you asking me?
It took a decade to create this film. James Cameron sweated, cried, built this universe.
I've pictured the reel. The reel's made, Vince. I made it. You just put Casey's head on top of mine, and he does all of that, and I look at the camera. Boom.
But like, no, for real though. Like, I get why Avatar's there, but it doesn't deserve to be the one that wins. I vote we go with Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
I thought you were about to say Avatar. Markets.
I vote we go with Puss in Boots.
The Pause Where I Play podcast.
There it is.
Votes Everything Everywhere All at Once to be the Oscar winner of the 2023 Oscars, which is for the 2022 movies, the 95th annual awards.
Best Picture. Boom. Got it. Thanks for joining us. Shaking hands. Have a good night. And that's it for this week on the Pause Where I Play podcast. We'll do a follow-up episode to see kind of how everything went. Vince, thanks for hosting as always.
Oh, yeah. You're always welcome in my basement.
That's what a serial killer would say. Josh, thanks for hanging.
You're so welcome.
I'm loving
awkward shake.
I'm loving shaking hands today. But anyhow, we'll catch you next time on the Pause Where I Play podcast.